So take it away.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kaguyaniki.
Hi, I'm
And with me
Corvimae.
is...
Oh,
No,
off to
and
a
with
great
me is a
start.
wonderful... We are great. Because I couldn't even decide which way we're doing it. All right, but before we start, I need a name. What are we gonna name our fabulous...
Nope.
fabulous main character?
Oops, sorry, I forgot to unmute from Discord and was trying to figure out my hotkey. But we will be naming our main character Trans Rights. Yes!
Nice.
Any capitals? I guess T
So-
and R?
Trans is capitalized. There's no spaces. It's all one word. Rights is not capitalized.
Trans fully and...
Oh no, just the T, just the T.
Okay, just the T.
Yeah, sorry, just the T.
As a German, I regularly capitalize way more than anyone else. All right, should be correct.
Nice thing about this run is that our timing
is.
doesn't start when we're naming, so this doesn't add to our timer.
Yes, that is amazing. All right, we can start. In 3, 2, 1, let's go.
All right, so this is Pokemon Legends Arceus. It is the newest release in the Pokemon franchise, and it is quite the departure from the Pokemon that you might know and love. It is an open world game that is sort of inspired by Monster Hunter in a lot of ways. And we're going to do a category here where we do about the first third of the game. It was created by a bunch of runners as a category extension because they just want something shorter to do. And the beginning of this game is pretty dynamic, so it's a nice little taste of a full PLA any percent.
Yeah, the full run, while being very nice, is also fairly long, especially for a marathon like this.
It is like shorter than you'd expect. It's definitely shorter than anyone expected when this game came out, just given the way that it's set up. And it's still getting a lot of development. Like world records are posted pretty much every week in this game. There are changes constantly. But it is much longer than the hour and change estimate that we have here. It's about 3 hours, almost 4. So
yeah, marathon's probably like 4, maybe 3:55 if people are really confident. But with the developments you make, like for example, this marathon we submitted 3 months prior almost. Like,
and there's been
always
sorry.
It's always a bit tough to calculate.
Yeah, there's been a lot of development on this game, just pretty much nonstop. When I ran it a while ago, closer to when the game came out, when I was running this, we had an entirely different route. We picked a different starter. There were items we just didn't know were as good as they are. It's a lot cleaner of a route now. There's new strats for pretty much most of the fights that we do. It's great. It's really good. We are going to turn off some settings here, standard Pokemon stuff, and then we're going to see our first speedrun trick here. This game has speedrun tech.
Yes.
And that is a crouch
And one of the
cancel.
2 reasons people want to, really never were too keen. Well, let's say there has been a lot of discussion about if we can start later than we do with the timing.
Yes. There's been a lot of discussion about the time for this game because the intro of this game is pretty slow. But there's a little bit of stuff here at the beginning, and then there's going to be a lot of cutscenes. So I'll try to explain this stuff here. That was a crouch cancel. That was discovered about a month or so after the game came out. It saves a surprising amount of time over the course of the run. And essentially what you do is right as you're about to start a cutscene trigger or talk to somebody, you crouch. And the reason for that is the game won't start a cutscene until you stop moving. And it is faster by way more than you think to just crouch because it instantly slows you down than to just wait for your character to stop walking and decelerate down to 0. So we will be doing that whenever we talk to anyone in the game. And it's kind of funny because you just kind of walk up to someone, go full Skyrim sneak 100 mode in front of them and then talk to them. It looks goofy, but saves time, so we do it.
Yeah, you'll probably see at some points where maybe I'm not successful in doing it, and then you'll see a pretty long stumble animation, and you see the difference if you look out for it.
We're also about to get to our second piece of speedrun tech, and this is why there was a lot of discussion around starting essentially during the main tutorial, which is not this part, but it ended up not happening because there is actually a good amount of time saved that can be saved here between the crouch canceling. And the trick we're about to see here, which is to sort of go for to sort of skip a bit of cutscene in a way. So this part is static, essentially. So the way it works is that we catch that Cyndaquil, then we have to catch the Rowlet, then we have to catch one, then we catch another one, then we catch a third one. And the third one will always break out. And ideally what happens is you try to catch the third one right as the cutscene plays for catching the second one. And what that'll do is it'll skip the breakout cutscene, and it saves a good amount of time. Didn't end up happening
if
there.
you actually get it, but it's really tight to get and pretty luck-based.
It's really tight to get, and it's also random, as far as we understand it. Based on how there's been some recent research into how the catch formula works out, and there's essentially a like fast animation that will play and a slow animation that will play, and it's believed that you could get an instant breakout here based on how that roll happens, and if that happens, the theory is that you can never get the skip. So it's just random. It didn't happen there.
Yeah, I think I've gotten it once. Not gotten it yet, but yeah. I mean, it also doesn't cost anything to try and go for it, so...
Yeah, it's free to go for. If it works out, you save like 5 seconds or so, which is nice. In the grand scheme of an 80% run, it's over 3 hours and 45 minutes run. It's a minor thing, so runners don't really reset on it at this point in the optimization of this game, but...
Yeah, you will have
nice
way more Pokemon that actually matter later on, break out, and waste you a lot more time than
Exactly. Because we will be catching stuff in this game. As they say, when it comes to Pokemon, you have to catch them all. And we're not going to catch all of them, but we're going to catch way more of them than you might expect. But before we do that, we have to get introduced to here. This is Jubilife Village, I believe is the name of it. It is our sort of hub world. If you played a Monster Hunter, this is the main Monster Hunter parallel here, is you have a hub city that you kind of do everything in, and you run out to the different zones. And this is this game's lengthy intro sequence where you kind of just walk through and talk to people. So if there are time for donations, it might be good for a couple of those.
Yay! Of course, we have $23.34 from Ganomax saying, I can't think of a better way to spend my birthday than watching Flame Fatals and donating 23.34 for my favorite Pokemon, 3 Mimikyu in a trench coat. Happy birthday!
I don't think I did the Mimikyu cry.
We also have $50 from Trinitroni. I'm so sorry, it took me so long. That says, clearly we don't have enough grease in there. Time to fix that.
If you have a favorite Pokemon and you want us to know what it is, maybe get a donation in. Maybe donate your favorite dex number. I'm just throwing ideas out there.
Yeah, do it. I'll read it.
Exactly. There's another crouch cancel. You can see it pretty much starts the cutscene immediately. Once you know to look for them, you'll see just how quickly it starts these cutscenes. This game is an isekai. We have been brought through time and space by Arceus, the god of Pokemon. We are not the only one who's been transported through time like this, but we are certainly the only one we're going to see in this run. So that's why we look like a tourist, because we're from Alola.
Yeah, the other person we would need to wait a bit longer. So these houses are pretty good for the timelines this game is playing.
Yeah, I love the design, like the aesthetic direction of this game. All the most of the characters are like references to other characters in Pokemon. Like if you play a lot of them in Gen 4, because this is the sort of Hisui region is supposed to be the sort of predecessor to Sinnoh. It's like like Shogunate Ero Sinnoh, essentially. And so we'll see. So you saw there that was Silene. That's Cyrus's ancestor. We have Akari and Rei, who are the protagonists, Lucas and Dawn of Gen 4's ancestors. The chef, like the little tavern owner here, that is Wally from Gen 3's ancestor, which I did not know till recently. I did not make that connection. Benny over here is Wally's ancestor. A lot of little like fun. This game is essentially like all the characters and all the world building in this game is very like self-referential in the series in a way that is like Game Freak going, kind of like a love letter to itself, which is very enjoyable if you have a lot of fondness for this series.
Yeah. And Cynthia has 2 ancestors, because...
True. We will see one of them. We will not see the other.
But yeah, I've only recently thought about that. Why do you think we have a whole empty hut just for ourselves? Where did that come from?
It is kind of like, oh yeah, by the way, we don't know who you are, but you can have this whole house. Like, I wish that happened to me. It's like, it's big Animal Crossing energy. Except we don't even have to pay for it. It's great. If you got some more donations, it might be good for a couple more.
All right, we have $100 from Blade. Thank you so much. We also have $250 from iGox. And I would like to remind everyone that we have that bit war to decide the Fantasy Star 4 party members. Right now, we have Alex, Demi, Grease, and Han with $50 each. So if you would like to change the party, you can donate towards that incentive. Remember, when you're making your donation, to click the incentive.
So this game is also a Gen 8 game, which means we have the wonderful feature of skip movies, something that they added in Gen 8. Now you'll notice that we are going to still watch a lot of cutscenes, and the reason for that is that skip movies is not the same as skip cutscene, as it is in most games. What it does is it skips anything that is a pre-recorded, non-in-engine sort of video. So right there was just a sort of video that like cutscene that plays. We see Mount Coronet, but because that is a video, we can skip it. Saves a little bit of time. A cool thing about this game is that it doesn't. You have to like know the key sequence in order to do it. It doesn't like show on screen like press plus to skip or whatever. So when I started running this, there were like videos that I didn't skip because I didn't realize they were videos because they don't look any different.
Yeah. It's like they look the exact same, so just some have like text and people talking and some don't, and those with text cannot be skipped. So
yeah. Oh, something I forgot to mention from the way start too is that we are playing as Akari, the female protagonist, instead of Rei. And the reason we are doing that is because this is frame per tells, because it actually is slower, slightly, to play as Akari because Akari talks less in her dialogue than Rei does. But in this case, it ends up being fine because it's a marathon. Like we'll lose a little time to be on brand, and also because this is a shorter category, so it adds up less over the course of the entire run. It's only like 4 seconds over the whole run, honestly. So
yeah. And now to the most important part. I still can't believe he just doesn't give us all 3 of them.
I know.
But yeah.
So who's gonna pick?
He says literally that the other 2 just are gonna chill here and has nothing better to do with them.
So we're gonna pick Rowlet, right? Oh man,
no,
I love Rowlet.
I did pick actually the last marathon run I did. When I submitted it, I didn't like it wasn't found that Cyndaquil was faster yet, so I had an open we had a bit war for start, and there I got to play Rowlet.
So
at this point, Cyndaquil is confirmed faster. So
yep.
Gotta pick Cyndaquil.
when the game came out, the debate was whether or not Oshawott or Cyndaquil was going to be faster. Everyone knew that Rowlet was not going to be fast. That's just kind of the sad reality of being a grass type in a Pokemon speedrun.
People have still rooted it or tried it.
Yeah. But I didn't see a lot of discourse around. It was a very small minority of folks who were like, Rowlet's going to be the one. Grass types in general, just like the way the typing works out, tends to be less useful for Pokemon speedruns, unfortunately. But for a while, we used Oshawott because we thought that Samurott just worked out better for the route. Now, everyone has switched to Cyndaquil. I believe this was actually a development that the Japanese community of this game figured out.
Yep.
And they were just using Cyndaquil forever. And then eventually the English community was like, oh, yeah, that's pretty good. We should do that.
I personally remember I tried it and I had like the same ideas, but I didn't know about Beautifly, and without Beautifly it just doesn't work because...
Yep.
So everyone might remember back in the day, Cyndaquil in Gen 2 evolved at level 14, which is amazing. But it's just not the thing in this game anymore.
Yeah, this game changed a lot of stuff, and one of that is evolutions. Things evolve at the same level, but they don't automatically evolve. Evolving is more but also less important than it is for different reasons that we'll get into. This is our first battle. The battle system in this game is extremely different from the standard Pokemon battle system. It introduces an entirely new speed system. So in traditional Pokemon, the way that it works is you will take turns, or you each go once a turn, and then whichever Pokemon has the faster speed stat will go first. In this game, it uses what is more like a active time battle, Final Fantasy-ish kind of system, where depending on the move that you use, what it does is it pushes your opponent further. When you get hit by a move, it pushes you back in an initiative order. And the amount that it pushes you back depends on the move being used. And thus, there are situations where you could take multiple turns in a row. There are situations where they could take multiple turns in a row. There are fights in this game where you just get hit like 5 times in a row because it's just the way that the mechanics work. It is honestly a little unintuitive. I think it's not fully fleshed out personally, but it's a neat change to the system. I'm glad they're trying new stuff. This game introduces the agile and strong stances. Agile moves are faster, but do less, or they're more likely to go quicker in the initiative order, but they do less damage and they have reduced effects. Whereas strong moves will put you further back in the initiative order, but they do more damage, they tend to be more accurate, and they can have increased effects. That is a bit of a simplification, but...
Yeah. It's actually... The thing is that there's where it's non-intuitive because you would see in fights that we are not taking that it's not completely the case.
Yeah. It's because the way they did it is very
You would think that agile and strong style affects you, but it affects the opposing Pokemon.
Yeah, rather than it putting you on cooldown, the way it works, as I sort of hinted at before, was it puts the opponent on cooldown for a certain amount of time. And it's sort of a way for them to try to do battles with multiple enemies in a way that felt like you were getting overwhelmed, I believe is the theory. It ends up just feeling a bit like, can I take my turn, please? Can I take my turn, please? Can I take my turn, please? Ma'am? This is also our first part catching, so you do not have to go into a battle to catch stuff. You do it on the overworld. You can go into a battle to catch stuff if you like, and you can weaken stuff, and then catching works very similar to regular Pokemon. Or you could just throw balls at it in the overworld. The reason... Go ahead.
What you could actually also have done here, which is kind of neat... So, if you don't have Pokeballs because you have deposited all your Pokeballs beforehand, then Ray will just give you 20 new Pokeballs.
Thanks, Ray. So, in the overworld, the way that catches work is a little bit different. Pokemon can spot you. Different Pokemon have different behaviors based on whether or how they work. Some Pokemon will run away when they are spotted. Some Pokemon will try to attack you when spotted. That was one of the kinds that run away. If you hit a Pokemon with a Pokeball and it is spun around, you do what is called a backstrike, which increases the chance of it getting caught. And you can also do stuff like there's items you can use to feed them, which increases your chances and makes them distracted. Ton of different stuff that you can use there. You can also throw your Pokemon into the field to interact with objects, which gives you resources. Again, very similar to Monster Hunter, but you can have your Pokemon do it for you instead of having to walk over to every single thing and hit A. So Ray over here is going to try to tell us how to hit a tree. If we do it before, it's a little faster.
Yeah, you can. What you can try optimally to do is do it while you catch the Starly. But at the same time, what might happen is that you get the berries, that you hit the tree, the berries fall down, and then the cutscene triggers, so the berries disappear, but the berries don't actually end up in your satchel.
Yeah, and we do need the berries, so it's important to get all those.
We don't need the berries in this run, but in general, that's just something.
Just kidding.
Really
I'm a liar.
I'm sorry, May.
Whoops. A couple other. So this one here is one that actually is aggressive. Shinx has an aggressive AI. The way that works is if it notices you, then you cannot catch it outside of a battle. The ball will just bounce off it unless you use a stunning item, which I don't think we'll use in this.
Probably not. We'll first have to get one.
Yeah, exactly. There's not a lot available in the early game.
Which is pretty luck dependent, and we'll not try and grind for much.
And that is the Obsidian Fieldlands 1.
Short tutorial. This game has a lot of mechanics, and it takes its time, but really goes through one by one what you can do.
Because it's very much a game that implies the only thing that you probably know about it going into it is how battles work, because, and not even necessarily how battles work, but that Pokemon battles exist and you use moves. And over time, it will also explain to us a little bit more of the new mechanics in this game. This game actually has a completely different damage formula than standard Pokemon, which, you know, I maybe have a little bit of notoriety for explaining Pokemon math. It makes a ton of changes. For example, if there's no such thing as 4 times super effective in this game, it is only up to 2.5 times. Or 0.4 times if you're 4 times resistant. That's a thing a lot of people don't know. Which is why like Gastrodon is actually like really good, because even though it has that 4 times grass weakness, it doesn't actually matter, or it doesn't really matter that much. It's only 2.5 times. The same type attack bonus, a series staple that increases your damage done by 1.5 times, is only 1.25 times in this game. A lot of small changes like that. The main one that pretty much everybody who played this game has noticed is that level is a huge factor. Level is a much less of a factor in this game than it is in other games. Just the way that it ends up working is that you can like Pokemon that are a lot lower level can just do way more amounts of damage than you would expect. Like if there's like a 10 level difference in older Pokemon games, you just don't really think about it. It's like you're not really worried about that Pokemon really being able to get off, take down your Pokemon unless something like they have like a 4 times super effective move or something weird happens. But in this game, you can have like level differentials of like 30 or 40, and you're still quite scary. It does kind of give the sort of environment of, oh yeah, we're in the wilderness and everything out here wants to kill you.
Yeah, it's like, even if like you are one Pokemon is level 2 and the other is level 25, it is not confirmed that it's gonna be a one-shot.
Yep.
But yeah, what you might also have seen, and we'll see next time, like we have way more HP than the normal game would have as the level we are at. Like you would not see level 5 Pokemon with like 50 HP.
Yeah, there's no EVs in this game. There's no EVs or IVs. There are technically IVs, but all they do is determine you're starting what is called a GV. I think it's technically called something else, but we call them GVs. And It's interesting because essentially it just affects how the Pokemon starts, but you can get them all up to the same point. This game made a lot of changes. Not all of which I love, but are all at least neat that they're trying stuff.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
We sure do.
Yes! So we have Royal Blue Wizard with $20 saying, "Go Nikki! Best of luck with the run. Always love seeing you in another marathon."
Oh, thanks a lot.
Probably do another one.
Oh, another one? Okay. We have Cowmonger with 35.40 saying, 35.40 for my favorite Pokemon. Number 354, Banette. What a spiteful little doll.
Banette's gonna like Banette. So we are now, we're not gonna go into Crimson. No, we're gonna do crafting here. I forgot.
First, we need to craft.
Yeah, so this game is crafting. You get stuff, you craft it into stuff. It's like Monster Hunter. Play Monster Hunter, it's pretty much the same as that. We're gonna make a bunch of Pokeballs because we have to. And then we're gonna go to Crimson Mirelands 2. But before that, some more donations.
Yay, more donations. We have Jose with 7.10 saying $7.10 are for our favorite Pokemon, number 710. Pumpkaboo! Pumpkaboo!
Pumpkaboo!
We also have $150 from Vacuum with less than 3, which is a heart.
That is true. There's only 2 Pokemon that are less than 3, so I'm gonna assume that you're a Bulbasaur fan.
Sounds right.
So we have the Pokedex now. Pokedex of this game works extremely differently than any other game. In most games, you catch a Pokemon, you're done. You caught it. You gotta catch them all. That's kind of the whole thing. And this game introduces what is called research. So each Pokemon has a list of tasks. And those tasks each give 10 points or 20 points if they are a boosted task, which is just preset for each entry. When you get 100 research points on a Pokemon, then you've completed its entry, and it gives you an additional 100 research points. The reading in this game in any percent is very much around getting to the research total of 8,500, which is how you reach the 5th research rank and unlock the last world that is, or the last zone that is required for any percent. Every time you get to a new star, you unlock another area, assuming you've been doing the story. In this game, we need to hit 2, I believe. Is that right?
Oh, we need to hit rank 1.
Rank 1. Sorry, we start at 0. We need to hit 1.
Yeah.
The research for this game is where it becomes a very difficult run, in my opinion. There's a lot of cognitive overhead to this game in making sure that you are accurately following your research route, because the research routes are very tight, and you very much, the way that it works out is because of that 100 bonus for hitting 100 points in a single task or a single Pokemon, you want to make sure that you are completing as many as possible without leaving things unfinished or going too much above and beyond, because you will just get into a situation where you're being inefficient, and that loses time. So it's really easy to be like, oh, well, something went weird and I didn't do an attack, and this has a research move or a research that is use quick attack 5 times, and so I only used it 4 times, and now I have 90 points for this instead of 100, and I didn't actually finish the research, and now I'm way below. The research for this game, the research route for this game changes constantly as runners find new stuff. I made a joke a while ago that Arceus runners can't play this game for more than 3 days without changing the route in some major way.
Please. It's true, but
I really like the research system in this game. I hope they bring it back for Scarlet and Violet. I think it adds a lot more interesting. I think some of the research is annoying. Like there's one for like Driftblim where you have to like self-destruct 20 times. And I don't want to do that to my poor blimps. But
True.
I think it's a lot more interesting of a way to do completion in this game is to just give you different tasks to do. It makes each Pokemon's entry feel a little bit more unique. It encourages you to actually use different Pokemon in your party because you're like, well, I already finished out this one, so I'm gonna use this Pokemon and I'm gonna feint a bunch of Pokemon, or like I'm gonna feint all these Bidoofs using electric types attacks, or whatever the requirement is. And that is why we're going to catch duplicates of things. That was a really long way of me explaining. We're going to catch more than one of things because we need to.
Yeah, it's like actually like fully finishing a whole page is actually a lot to do. But like the concept of like getting 100 points for 100 bonus points is really fun. And most Pokemon have really good combinations to do so.
There is a benefit to fully getting a perfect entry, which is when you just fully complete an entire page, and that is it increases the odds of that Pokemon appearing shiny. But that doesn't help us in the speedrun, so we're not going to do that.
Less rolling to prevent fall damage.
Yes. The way that this game, you can sprint in this game, you have an invisible sprint meter that it does eventually run out. So you kind of just try to, you roll when you don't have any sprint left. You sprint when you can, because sprinting is a bit faster. It doesn't have that end lag in the roll. And we're gonna catch some Cascoons and Wurmples, or Silcoons and Wurmples. Sorry.
Silcoon. We actually found a Silcoon, so we are basically fine. All right, very important. We need this backstrike. Look at this level difference.
Yeah, right. What a backstrike does is it makes sure you guarantee you go first, and it often lets you get more than one turn off in a row as a result. Perfect. If we didn't have that backstrike there, then we wouldn't have been able to get all three of those embers off. And we need to be...
They're also more common to get stunned.
Yes.
Also, what you can do is you can run during battles.
Yes.
Which you need to be careful.
If you run too far from the battle will immediately end after the current attack, and you recall your Pokemon, which you do have to be careful about, because if you do run too far, you can get into a situation where you accidentally ended the battle and did not mean to.
I also only want one Beautifly. I definitely don't want both of those.
This is a newer strat in order to complete the Beautifly research really quickly, because I believe the Beautifly research is just to defeat them with fire-type moves, right?
Well, we actually want to just want to get the levels. Beautifly actually gets bonus points for being defeated by rock-type moves.
Rock-type moves, that's what it is.
Now
we evolve Cyndaquil.
I like doing that. Yes, if it actually back in the Pokeball.
Right, yep. Pokemon do not automatically evolve in this game. You have to specifically evolve them. An amazing change that they made, because otherwise finishing research would be really annoying. Because each evolution also has its own research page. So now that we're evolved that to a Cyndaquil, or to a Kleavor, we can now be making progress on Kleavor's page instead of Cyndaquil's page, which we finished Cyndaquil's page by doing all those embers and evolving it and stuff.
Yeah. Also, fun fact, unevolved Pokemon get more experience.
I did not know that one, actually. Interesting.
So it might just be beneficial to not immediately evolve your Pokemon.
So I believe after this, we should have all the experience we need. Is that correct?
Yes.
Or all the research points we need. This should get us to rank 1. We you very much want to. It's bad if you don't hit this, because when you do this, you go back to camp. And then you have to load back into the world. You can't like check to see your progress because it doesn't lock them in until you talk to the professor here.
Yeah. The important part is that you only even start getting points also for defeating once you have caught one, which is why evolving to Beautyfly gives you just some bonus points because only then the defeating Beautyfly points actually work.
It can be really annoying to like spend a bunch of time like stunning something and then like they all break, like you like can't get one to catch because they all just keep breaking out and you're like, well, that was a waste of my time. Awesome. This might be good for a couple more donations because we're just going to talk to Silene here.
All right. I would like to say I blinked and we are so close on the Pac-Man incentive. We are at 1,273 out of 2,000, so we're doing good progress.
Chat, we're so close. Sure. Come on, chat. I believe
we can make it happen during this run, I'm certain. We also, if I can read a few donations, we have $10 from Cassandra that says, great run, but it would be even better if someone showed off a Fletchinder cry. Cough, May, cough.
A Fletchinder cry, hold on. I think I know Fletchinder's cry. I think it's like, or is that, am I thinking of Talonflame's cry? Oh, I can't hear it. I'm gonna assume it's the same as Talonflame's cry, and it's like, ah! Nope, that was bad.
I thought it was great.
Oh, that felt bad. Yeah, if you want me to like be your voice puppet here on stream chat, get those donations in. I'll do it. I have no shame.
You are an experienced voice imitator. You have been doing it great every time I've heard you do it.
Thank you. I'm glad that you believe that is true.
Definitely is.
Oh wait, okay. I was able to hear the Fletchinder cry. It's more of like a... So, hopefully that was better. I was definitely thinking that it was the same as the Talonflame cry. Alright, so this is a fight we gotta do against Ray here. They brought back Pikachu's original cry in this game. It no longer goes Pika, and now does this little chirp. That's fun. And we are also going to use a strong style move here. Ooh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Never mind.
We could have. Actually, but we are level 18, so we have the choice of using Flame Wheel or strong styling the Amber. We will use strong style moves.
Whoops.
I am sorry.
How could you?
You know what? To make up for it. I think I have a way. May, what day do we have today?
What day?
Yeah.
It's Friday.
Yeah. What works well is
Friday.
Friday.
It's Drifloon Friday. Whoa!
It is Drifloon Friday.
Happy Drifloon Friday, everyone. We don't get to see any Drifloons in this run because it's going to be day the whole time. But if you play this game, you can see some Drifloon. They're everywhere. I love it. There's a whole side story about Drifloon that's good. Over here, I don't remember her name. Zishu teaches you. Yeah, she teaches you about like strong style and agile moves. She's also the move tutor in this game.
Yeah. If you have a Jinx that needs some moves, you can learn like Thunder Fang, Ice Fang, Fire Fang.
Yeah, there was an old, like one of the really early routes did that. We just talked to her and we learned all the elemental fangs. On
that was basically the route pre-Cyndaquil for beat Kleavor.
And now we are here at Crimson Mirelands. Not Crimson Mirelands, no. Obsidian Fieldlands 3. Hi, Volo.
Yeah. He teaches us the secret backstrike techniques that we might or might not have already used.
Yeah, Volo teaches you how to backstab. Alright, we are going to make it night. Once again, I've lied to you all.
I mean, this was basically decided once it has been decided by someone that this run is going to be on a Friday.
That's fair. Oh, wait, did you do this specifically for Drifloon? Is this not part of the regular
Yes, of
route?
course.
Okay. Thank you, I appreciate it. Look at them, I love them. I love them.
If you were like really task-like, you might actually go for the strat and try and catch a lot of Drifloons, but catching Drifloons is tough.
Yeah, they get angry.
They get angry very fast.
The memes about this game when it came out were that Paris and Drifloon are both aggressive, and they will just lock onto you and try to mess up your day. Well, Drifloon tries to mess up your night, but you know.
Yeah, so they see you from a mile away. Paris even further than Drifloon.
We're gonna fight Mai here. She's got a Munchlax. She felt like she was gonna be a more important character than she was. She doesn't really come back after this, honestly. Or like not after,
Yeah.
a little bit after this.
I mean,
I thought
she
was
is
a
in
major
this.
character.
She is just for this area.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't recall whose predecessor she was.
Yeah, I also don't know if she actually is supposed to be a predecessor or not. Not all the characters are, just a lot of them are.
But yeah. Also, less fang attacks for 95% accuracy, which is definitely not 95%.
I love missing.
By.
Sweet.
So yeah, having fought beauty flies, which were way higher levels than us, might or might not have made us pretty powerful. What's coming up here in terms
Yeah,
of
that fight used to suck. That fight used to be
even
rough.
then, Munchlax took 3 attacks.
Maybe I'm thinking my casual play. Maybe I'm thinking I got trucked in my casual playthrough.
But yeah, it's not unlikely, to be honest.
Oh no,
Especially because it has rollout, and we all know Whitney's Miltank and
True.
the Banes that is rollout.
Wait, was this a game? Was this a fight that we fought with more than one Pokemon?
It
think
depends
that's what
which
I'm thinking
routes you used. I mean, yeah, like for the longest part with Oshawott, we did like 2 Buizel water jets into 2 Oshawott water jets.
Yes, that's what I remember doing. So it was just a lot slower because we have to do swap outs.
Yeah.
We're just gonna kind of make our way up here to the Cricketune. Spoiler alert! So if there's another donation.
Oh yes, we do have more donations. We have with $162, saying 162 for number 162. Everyone's favorite long boy, for it.
Clap along in chat.
Also, if we have another second, I would like to remind everyone about the Phantasy Star 4 Beat War. It is gonna be 5 party members. Right now, it could go anyway. Reminding that you can donate and put towards this Beat War, and you can, split it. You could put, let's say, $5 on one character, $5 on another character. You don't have to commit to just one. And I would like to remind everyone that it's closing very soon, so we don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, get those in now. Make sure you pick an incentive. Let's hit as many incentives as possible. I want to see as much marathon as I can, and I want to see people fighting in those incentives for what party members they want.
It is very close right now, very close.
You all want to do a Cricketune cry with me? No? All right, I'll just do it. Okay, we fight this. This is the first where the game introduces alpha Pokemon, which are large, stronger versions of Pokemon. In this case, it's a Cricketune. Except for it, I guess it should have been lower. It should have been more like because it's an alpha. This used to be a fight that we did with like 3 different Pokemon. Now we got our we do use a strong style move. I knew it.
Yeah, it's not this time we don't flame wheel, which is strong style it.
Yes. Yes.
Usually, so we don't need rank 2 anymore, but Kleavor actually also gets point for using strong style and agile style moves. So
Yeah.
the general strat in any percent would be just agile style, strong style.
Yeah, in any percent we would
in
still
any
be
case.
focusing on trying to get certain moves done. We would have caught a bunch of cricketoons earlier.
Yep.
But we do not need rank 2. We are done with our research.
We can
this is-
appreciate the drift loons.
I always appreciate a drift loon. This is weird here. It's new. It's an evolved form of Stantler. And it is going to be... This game has ride Pokemon. Very similar to Gen 7's Ride Pager. But essentially, it is just there's a couple different traversal Pokemon that we get over the course of the game. We'll get Weird Ear pretty soon.
And it's really good in climbing up mountains.
It is, yes. It is. It's like the Skyrim horses. They defy all laws of physics. According to all known laws of mountaineering, there's no reason that a wide ear should be able to scale a mountain.
But it is, and actually really good at it.
It's like surprisingly good. There used to be a lot of mountain climbing tricks that we did with wide ear in some of the early routes. A lot of them got rooted out, unfortunately, but they were fun. There was a really fun one in Crimson Mirelands.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Sure do.
Yes.
Okay, this one's for May. Charbani donated 416 saying, any chance we can hear the cry for Vespican, number 416? And a happy face.
Vespercran cry? Oh god. That was like Vespiquen as performed by Jinx.
I thought
But
it
if
was
Jinx
good.
were doing it, would be 3 times as long.
That's true.
Also, we get to one of my favorite gimmicks of this run. Look at the feet, and immediately we turn on our shoes. Like, if we could put on clothes that quickly, I would appreciate that.
It's like The Sims, where you just kind of do a 360 and you're in a different outfit. I wish I could do that in real life. You know, the amount of time I would save. Just like, I'm about to go outside.
That would be amazing.
Do a twirl, now I'm all bundled up.
Like, I'll probably use that at least 20 times a day, just because I can.
This is AB Rose. This is a reference to the Sonic run from earlier. Now this is Adaman and Irida. They are the leader of the Pearl and Diamond clans, which worship Dialga and Palkia, respectively. They're major characters in this game. We're not going to really interact with them that much. But I think Irida has big Amy Rose energy. And I also think we should use a couple more donations.
Yay! I have a couple more donations. We have $4.02 from Rexy saying, you want to imitate Pokemon cries? There we go. Do-do-do-do. Whoop. Hopefully that was good. I'm not sure which one that was.
That's Cricketune. That's what we saw earlier.
Oh,
Yep.
wow. I hope
So
I
it was
did
good
well.
enough that we were able to recognize it.
Exactly.
Well, they wrote the cry very well, I would say. I just read it as it was. We also have 26.30 from Iku saying $26.3 for my favorite Pokemon, Zigzagoon, and a little heart.
Zigzagoon's cute.
So
I like
cute.
Zigzagoon.
We also
I can do a
have...
couple more.
Yeah, sure. We also have $7.10 from Kato Pokenerd saying, Pumpkaboo!
Pumpkaboo.
Pumpkaboo.
I could do the actual Pumpkaboo cry too I could do the anime Pumpkaboo cry, which is very different than my stylized Pumpkaboo cry. If we hit that Pac-Man 99 incentive, I'll do the anime Pumpkaboo cry for y'all.
Ooh, we can do it. We are at 1,785
We're so
out of
close.
2,000, so super close. if you want to
You
hear
gotta be
that
quick on
cry,
it, though. We're reaching
can
the end of the run,
definitely
so you better get on that, chat.
yeah, we don't have a lot of time, but we can do it. We can hear that cry.
We are going so fast, we don't even go down the stairs. We are jumping out of the window and go back in. Because it's faster.
Honestly, that is faster in real life if you can stick the landing, so... Pokemon is nothing if not realistic. So, normally after when we want to leave here, we want to go to the front gate, you just warp to the gate, because warping within the town is really fast. But in this case, we have to go talk to our good friend, and by friend, I mean, person who charges us too much money, Baggin, after this cutscene. He gives you more bag space. You have to watch the cutscene, the first cutscene where he gets introduced before we go to the town, or before we go to the next area. So we have to run out, unfortunately.
Could I ask the two of you for a favor? Could you let everyone know when we are getting the Flute of Warrior, because that's when we are gonna cut off that Fantasy Star incentive.
Gotcha.
That's when we are gonna close it. So everyone at home, you have that amount of time, and they will let us know when that happens.
You are
wasn't 5 minutes,
very
I would
soon.
say.
Yeah. So get those in now. Be quick.
Yeah, 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Come on.
It might be less than that, honestly.
Gotta run.
I'm pretty sure we have to first fight Leon. Because, yeah, we get the flute and then
Yes.
and then Warrior.
Yes.
And then we are zooming around.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, I forgot about that whole running over there. Talking about, so yeah, 4 or 5 minutes seems about right. Get those donations in. Pick the party. Add some chaos.
Yeah, we can
Also
change things
chaos.
up. It's been the same thing for a while. Why not just change? Have like I don't know, $50 for Seth. Now suddenly we're playing with Seth or Raja. You know.
The amount of control that you can have over somebody else's run, the amount of power invested in you, chat.
So
Gotta take
much
advantage
power.
of that.
As you can see, health is a thing.
Oh yeah, we never talked about health. Yeah, you can die. Well, you can't die, but you too can faint. In regular Pokemon, you run out of party members and you black out and you wake up in the Pokemon Center. In this game, if you're out of party members, you can still move around the world. You just can't fight anything. But you also have health and you can take attacks. And if you take too much damage, then you faint. You drop some items and you wake up in town. Or no, you wake up in camp. One of those. I think it's camp. Try to catch the Alpha Barrel for fun. Or is it
Yeah,
just
because
so
it doesn't
roar?
attack us if it isn't the Pokeball.
Yeah, that also helps.
Yeah, the catch rate has actually recently been found out, and alpha Pokemon are basically have a catch rate as 40 levels higher, like 40 level on top.
God. Yeah, shoutouts to Anubis
Equivalent to that.
for doing
Yeah.
a ton of research into this game and Let's Go. There's been so much learned about a bunch of the Switch Pokemon games and their underlying mechanics because of her work, so huge ups to them. And if you have another donation...
Oh yes, I do have more donations. We have $25 from Aigu saying, my favorite Pokemon is number 625, Be Sharp. I heard he gets a third evolution next gem. I hope they don't mess that up. I hope
Really?
he
I
got
did
a pretty
not- I did
cool
not hear that.
evolution. Yeah, I haven't heard about that either.
That sounds like a spoiler.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
That might be a leak. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
I don't know.
It
I don't
might
think they've
not be
announced it
true.
officially.
I'm not an official source. If we still have time, we have $250 from iGox.
Yeah, do it.
More time? Okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no.
So Scoomy is, well, yeah. It's a small little Goomy that doesn't want to fight.
We have $25 from Wagner family saying super excited to donate on a Pokemon run for an awesome cause. Thank you to the staff and runners.
if you got another one.
Yeah, I can read more donations for sure. We have MVH with $35 saying Squirtle's dex number is 7, so here's $7 for each of the 5 members of the Squirtle Squad, the baddest gang in Kanto. I love the Squirtle Squad. I am a Squirtle star myself, so...
They are great.
Yeah, I love them. We also have $25 from Level Story. No message, but thank you nonetheless. And many with $100, also no message. And if I can update you on that Fantasy Star incentive, we have so far the 5 party members would be Rika with 65, Alice with 50, Demi with 50, Grace with 50, and Han with 50. But we have Kyra not too far behind with 42.46 and Chess with 36. So like I said, very close.
Alright, so we're back to camp. Talk to Laverton here a bit. And we're gonna see our good friend and better of the two, the two, what's it called? I'm blanking on words. Two village leaders. If you disagree with me, donate and prove me wrong.
But yeah, we're talking about how we can quell Kleavor's anger, and the result is surprising, but at the same time not surprising. But yeah, the idea we are coming up with, we just give it its favorite food, because everyone likes their favorite food.
I do like that our entire strategy here is just like, what if we like fed it? And I'm like, honestly, that would work on me.
Yeah, right? So it sounds like such a non-video game solution, but at the same time,
I know.
so realistic.
Like, it's such a game where, like, in Pokemon, there's so much, like technobabble solutions to things, especially in Gen 7. Gen 7 has so much, like, parallel dimension, light speed warping tech stuff. And this game, they're just like, I don't know, feed it.
Alright, and I believe here is where we'll get the flute.
Yes. Should be in
in
about.
order to communicate with Wordier.
It makes the sound that it plays at the beginning of Gen 4. Whoa. All right, that's the flute.
We got the flute.
We got the flute.
So that, I guess, closes the incentive, right? So yeah, the party members are Chris, Rika, Alice, Demi, and Han. Thanks to everyone who donated.
Congrats to all those members. We are going to be approaching the end of the run very soon. So if you want us to talk about your favorite Pokemon a little bit, if you want to make sure that we lock in that Pac-Man 99 incentive, and I do more Pumpkaboos. Get those in as soon as possible. We're so close.
Yeah, so everyone knows we're less than $200 away from that incentive, and we will get something during this run if we meet that incentive. So
Gotta be quick about it though, because I mean we gotta go like pretty soon.
You can see this Wordier is not joking around.
Yeah, it's fast.
Fast, yeah. Speedrunning.
While we make our way over to Kleavor's arena, about 1 or 2 more donations.
Oh yes, I do. We have Trinitroni. I think I said... No, I was gonna say I said the name right this time, but it's Trinitronity. I'm so sorry. With $25 saying another boost for Chris because he deserves it. Yeah. We also got someone talking about their favorite Pokemon. Vera with $8.23 saying, sending my favorite Corvimae your way. Scraw!
Ah!
Oh, that was so much better than mine.
I constantly get because my username is Corvimae, I constantly get and because I run Pokemon, I constantly get people being like, "Oh my God, is your reference a name to Corviknight?" And I'm like, I mean, they're both references to Corvid, so I guess in a way. We're gonna fight Irida here in order to prove that we're ready to fight Kleavor, and we are going to Ember twice. I actually don't remember if we have to win this one. A lot of the Irida and Adamant fights, we just lose on purpose.
No, this one you have to win.
I thought you did,
Pretty
yeah.
sure. Because you need to prove that you can tackle
Yeah.
Kleavor.
It makes sense. I just did not remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, so there are surprisingly many fights that you actually don't need to win.
You barely need to win fights in this game. There's a lot of times in the full any percent run where we will just deposit a lot of our party so that we can lose a fight as quickly as possible. And so we're going to come up to Kleavor, who we are trying to beat, which means time is going to be pretty soon here. This game has, I believe, 7 different sort of boss battles where you are not using Pokemon to do them. They are like Dark Souls style fights in a way, where you are essentially throwing these bombs, BALM, the food satchels we just made, at the Pokemon. It is doing very telegraphed moves, and you have to get enough damage to it before it does enough damage to you to knock you out. So this is the final fight. I believe, is time after the cutscene after this, or is it on the last hit? Alright, well, Nikki has to focus on this. So there's 2 attacks that Kleavor does. It's one of the more simpler ones. One thing it will do is it will charge at you. There are certain spots you can stand at to make it so you don't have to actually dodge or anything. That's a little precise. And the other one it'll do is it will do the spin attack. When you get it below half health, it will sort of roar for a bit and go into its second phase, which tends to be the same attacks, but a little bit stronger. Sometimes they have new attacks. There was that roar right there. You cannot do damage to it while it is doing that. Also, you might have noticed that while we're diving there, or doing the dodge roll there, we do have iframes for part of that, which is very useful. And pretty much the strategy for doing all of these is just to get as many hits as you can, as quickly as possible, and not try to waste any shot.
And
is that time? Yep. And that is Pokemon Legends Arceus beat Kleavor.
And we get to see a movie cutscene that we otherwise would have to skip.
And now Kleavor's not angry anymore. Hooray! Unfrenzied.
Yay!
Yeah. If you like that, and you're like, this looks fun, the Pokemon Legends Arceus community has been pretty active, honestly. There's been a lot of people running this game. There's been a lot of development in it nonstop. There's a lot of different things you can do. If you just like that last thing we just did here where we fight Kleavor, there's ILs for that. I love the ILs in this game. I think they're really fun. There's a ton of different things you can do in this game. Highly recommend it. Check out the Switch Pokemon speedrunning community if you want to learn more. I will now let you do shoutouts for your own run and stop talking.
I see, but I will get my shoutouts. Muhahaha. Shoutouts to May, who being an amazing commentator.
Thank you for having me.
Great to have you. Shoutouts to Tuca, being a great host.
True.
Oh, thank you so much.
It was great.
Thank you to both of you. It was amazing.
Do I need to do a pumpkin?